Have you ever wondered if the rice on your plate is discreetly raising your blood sugar levels? I understand that it sounds surprising. Rice is a very familiar food. Comforting, simple, part of so many meals. But what if I told you that the way most people cook and eat rice can be detrimental to their health, particularly after the age of 60? Hello, I'm delighted you're here with me today. This video is not about fear, it is about hope. And it's all about control. Because the reality is, there are simple, tried and true techniques to transform rice. Yes, rice. From a secret blood sugar saboteur into a gut-healing, sugar-stabilizing, and life-sustaining food. And no special medications or sophisticated devices are required. Simply make tiny changes to your daily routine. I've worked in senior health for many years, and I've seen far too many people take all of the appropriate drugs and follow all of the normal advice while still suffering from high blood sugar, obstinate weight, and digestive problems. That's when I discovered we frequently neglect the most fundamental things right in front of us, such as how we cook our rice. So, today, I'm going to provide 5 simple rice tips that can significantly improve your health. They're simple to implement, scientifically supported, and, best of all, they integrate seamlessly into the meals you already prepare. Before we begin, allow me to ask you this question. Do you or a loved one consume rice virtually every day? Have you ever felt bloated or lethargic after eating and assumed it was due to your age? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your tale. And if you want more simple, practical advice like this, please subscribe and join our senior lifestyle community. Okay, let's go into the first rice secret. One that can alter how your body absorbs nutrition with just a little extra time. Something so basic, but so powerful. Soak your rice. Yes, that simple habit that many of us overlook can subtly alter how your body reacts to a dish of rice. Now, I understand what you are thinking. I've spent my entire life rinsing and cooking rice. Why repair something that isn't broken? But here's an unexpected truth. Unsoaked rice can prevent your body from receiving the nutrients you need the most as you age. Rice, particularly white and brown rice, contains phytic acid. It hides in the grain's outer layers. While it is quite normal, it can behave as a little robber in your digestive tract. It binds to important minerals such as calcium, zinc, and iron. This makes it difficult for your body to absorb them. This is more important than you realize for older folks who are already battling with bone weakening, tiredness, or a weakened immune system. Now for the good news. Simply soaking your rice, as our parents or grandparents may have done, can lower phytic acid and release more of those vital minerals. There's another significant benefit. It makes rice simpler to digest. Many older folks I've worked with complain of bloating, gas, or simply feeling too full after a meal. However, after they began soaking their rice, meals became lighter, smoother, and more comfortable. So, how do you do it correctly? After thoroughly cleaning your rice with cool water, soak it in warm water for 30 to 60 minutes before cooking. This provides the grains time to soften, absorb moisture, and degrade those difficult-to-digest chemicals. If you're short on time, even 30 minutes will make a difference. But don't overdo it. Do not soak for more than 3 hours, especially in warm weather, as germs might grow and ruin the rice. One woman I remember, 72 years old, always active but suffering from a sensitive stomach, developed this simple habit of soaking her rice. Within a few weeks, her post-meal soreness was almost gone. She referred to it as her small miracle. It's such a small change. There are no drugs or special tools, only water, time, and intention. But what about the reward? Better digestion, improved nutrient absorption, and increased energy after meals. Give it a try. If you've already started doing this, Please share your experiences in the comments. Or if you've never tried it, what's stopping you? If you thought that was straightforward, wait until you see what a single teaspoon of vinegar can do to your blood sugar levels. Let's move on to tip number 2, which is one of the most unexpected and effective methods you can use with rice: adding vinegar. Yes, I understand that may appear unusual at first. What about vinegar in rice? You might be wondering, won't that destroy the taste? But hear me out. Because only 1 spoonful of the appropriate vinegar can significantly improve your blood sugar, digestion, and energy levels after a meal. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Vinegar, particularly genuine apple cider vinegar, includes something called acetic acid. This tiny chemical helps slow down how rapidly your body breaks down and absorbs carbs, so your blood sugar doesn't spike straight after you eat. This is especially crucial for adults over 60, whose bodies become more sensitive to sugar spikes. And if you have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, this one step could be life-changing. In fact, a significant study by Johns Hopkins University discovered that simply adding vinegar to rice can reduce its glycemic index by 31%. That's a massive decline, from a strong sugar reaction to something far more mild and balanced. I recall a kind man in his late 60s, pre-diabetic, frustrated, and tired of being lethargic after meals. He began adding only 1 tablespoon of natural fermented vinegar to the water when he cooked rice. Within a few months, his fasting blood sugar levels stabilized, and he felt lighter, sharper, and more in control. So, how do you handle this at home? Simple. When you add water to your rice cooker or pot, add 1 tablespoon of naturally fermented vinegar, such as apple cider vinegar. That is it. I promise that the rice will not taste sour. In fact, many individuals claim it tastes slightly cleaner or fresher. Important notice: make sure the vinegar is natural and fermented, rather than manufactured or flavored. The synthetic stuff does not provide the same benefits and may upset your stomach if you are sensitive. And if you have a really sensitive gut or are trying this for the first time, begin with half a spoonful and observe how you react. This technique is so simple to implement, but its influence can be tremendous, particularly over time. And the best part? It's not a medication. It is not a restriction. It's merely giving your body some natural support. Now, let's go on to something equally startling. How oatmeal, when combined with rice in the appropriate proportion, can benefit your heart and blood sugar. Don't skip this next tip. Here's a brilliant little secret that most people have never heard about. Mix a little oats into your rice. Yes, oatmeal. You're undoubtedly already aware that it's healthy for your heart, cholesterol, and digestion. But what's most intriguing is how a small amount mixed with your rice can substantially enhance how your body absorbs sugar and even clean out your blood vessels over time. Let me clarify. Oatmeal contains soluble fiber known as beta-glucan. When you eat beta-glucan, it functions as a soft sponge in your system. It passes through your intestines, absorbing bad cholesterol, delaying digestion, and preventing your blood sugar from increasing too soon after a meal. This type of support is invaluable for seniors, particularly those suffering from high cholesterol, prediabetes, or blood pressure difficulties. In fact, a study conducted by the National Institutes of Health discovered that putting a modest quantity of oatmeal with rice can reduce blood sugar rise by up to 43%. That is not a tiny improvement. That's a significant step towards stability and long-term health. The issue, however, is the quantity. You do not desire too much. This is why we call it the golden ratio. If you're cooking 1 cup of rice, approximately 150 grams, add 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of plain dried oats. That's about 5% to 7% of the entire volume, enough to provide the advantages without overwhelming your digestion. Why not add more? While oatmeal is healthful, Eating too much in one sitting, particularly for older persons, might induce bloating, gas, or a heavy feeling. Gentle balance is essential. A modest dose per day provides your body with precisely the correct amount of soluble fiber to promote smoother digestion, improved cholesterol control, and more consistent energy after meals. I've seen how a simple change can help so many individuals. One woman in her mid-70s began utilizing this strategy to manage her high cholesterol and early signs of diabetes. She just added a teaspoon of oats to her daily rice. After 3 months, her lab results improved, but more significantly, she felt better, clearer, lighter, more confident. Another gentle reminder: if you have renal problems, always see your doctor before increasing your fiber or whole grain intake. Each body is unique. And now that we've improved the way your rice manages sugar and cholesterol, let's have a look at a golden spice that has been used for generations and may help enhance insulin sensitivity in a natural way. The next ingredient is turmeric, a little golden pinch with a lot of healing potential. You've probably heard of turmeric, a spice used in curries and drinks. But did you know that adding a little turmeric to your rice can improve your body's insulin response and even lower inflammation throughout your system? The key molecule in turmeric is called curcumin, and it has been studied for years for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. However, one of the most fascinating results is that curcumin improves insulin sensitivity. That implies it improves your body's ability to use insulin, similar to polishing a dull key so it fits the lock again. As we age, many of us acquire insulin resistance, which is when the body no longer responds well to insulin. This causes elevated blood sugar levels, weariness, weight gain, and, in rare cases, more serious problems. However, the National Institutes of Health discovered that continuous curcumin intake over time lowered insulin resistance by 23%, a level comparable to certain moderate diabetes medicines. And it only takes a pinch. One woman in her late 60s, who had been treating type 2 diabetes for years, decided to try this after consulting with her doctor. She didn't change anything else about her diet. She simply began adding a small teaspoon of turmeric powder to her steaming rice once each day. After a few months, her blood sugar levels improved, and she was able to reduce her medication dosage. Her smile conveyed everything. This is quite easy to accomplish at home. Once your rice is cooked and still warm, drop 1 to 2 small pinches of pure turmeric powder on top and gently toss. That is all. The warming helps to release the natural oils and scent, and the flavor pairs well with simple rice. Begin slowly, especially if you're not acclimated to the flavor. You can always increase gradually as your palate adjusts. Just make sure to use genuine turmeric powder, not curry powder. Curry powder typically contains turmeric, but it also contains salt and other spices, which may not provide the same benefit and may upset your stomach if consumed in high quantities. Also, if you have gallbladder problems or are taking specific drugs, consult your doctor before using turmeric on a daily basis to ensure your safety. This is a little colorful habit with subtle but strong benefits, connecting you to centuries of natural healing wisdom. And now, as we go on to our final suggestion, prepare for something even more surprising. A method that requires no additions at all. It's all about how you cool and reheat your rice to get even more gut health advantages, which is one of the most surprising yet very beneficial rice habits. Cool and reheat your rice. Yes, that is it. There's no particular ingredient or supplement. Simply allow your rice to cool after cooking, and then gently warm it up again before eating. Simple? Yes, but the science behind it is very fantastic. This is what occurs. When you cook rice and then chill it, the starch inside changes. It turns into something called resistant starch. Unlike ordinary starch, which is readily digested and converted into sugar in the circulation, resistant starch resists digestion. Instead of breaking down in the small intestine, it travels deeper into the large intestine and becomes food for your gut's beneficial bacteria. This means improved digestion, reduced inflammation, and increased immunity. It's like giving your stomach a nice therapeutic massage from the inside out. But that is not all. Resistant starch also helps to minimize post-meal blood sugar rises, promotes intestinal regularity, and improves insulin sensitivity. This simple alteration can provide significant relief for seniors, particularly those who are dealing with blood sugar, gastrointestinal discomfort, or constipation. I previously worked with a man in his 70s who had struggled with constipation and irritable bowel syndrome for years. Medications helped a little, but nothing provided true comfort. He began cooling his rice after cooking, letting it sit, then reheating it before meals. Within a few weeks, his digestion had substantially transformed. He felt lighter, more regular, and eventually relaxed. So, how do you do it? After cooking your rice, keep the lid open and let it sit at room temperature for 30 minutes to 1 hour. You can then consume it, or better yet, keep it in the fridge and gently reheat it later that day or the next. When reheating, simply warm it till hot. Don't overcook it or leave it out too long at room temperature. Bacteria can grow in rice that has been left out for too long, particularly in warm weather. So, if you aren't eating it right away, refrigerate it and eat it within 1 to 2 days. It's a small alteration, but the benefits are significant. Better gut health, greater blood sugar control, and the sense of internal harmony that so many older folks desire. Think about it. With a little time and preparation, your rice may become one of the most nutritious items on your plate. Now that we've covered all 5 of these subtle yet effective rice habits, let's take a moment to reflect and tie everything together. Because, while each of these suggestions is minor in and of itself, it is the cumulative effect that ultimately transforms health. These 5 rice behaviors may appear minor, yet they have significant impact. Soak the rice, add a little vinegar, mix in little oatmeal, sprinkle with turmeric, and let it cool before reheating. Each phase promotes blood sugar control, digestion, and long-term vigor in its own gentle way. And this is the truth. It is never too late to make adjustments. You do not need to do everything at once. Begin with only one, whichever feels most comfortable for you, and watch how your body responds. Small steps frequently lead to major improvements. I've witnessed how these strategies help so many older individuals feel better, move more easily, and regain control of their meals and health. You too deserve that. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, please like it. It greatly benefits our work. And if you want to continue on this journey with us, press subscribe to join the senior lifestyle. We're here to help you with practical, science-based advice that fits your lifestyle. Did any of these rice habits surprise you? Or have you tried one before? I would love to hear about it. Feel free to add your opinions in the comments. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the future film. You've got it.